apply. All right, Ephraim, we started off the show with the story of the day, which is that the Brooklyn Nets and their star point guard, Kyrie Irving, are at an impasse when it comes to determining their future together. Kyrie has an option to, he can either pick up by the end of this month, June 29th, or he can let it go and become a free agent. And so we will see what he decides to do. But they're at an impasse. So I think it will work out and he'll end up in Brooklyn next year. It'll be interesting to see what the contract situation becomes. I think it was John Hollinger who was saying, or maybe it was Antonio, one of our guests was saying, look, if there has to be a compromise, right? And Kyrie wants 5 years max. I want to give him, say, 3 years with a highly incentivized deal. Maybe we compromise at 3 years max. That's not incentivized. And you get the money. Now, it's a risk for Brooklyn, but maybe that's the because you don't want to break him down to the point where he's disgruntled. You know what I'm saying? You want to make him feel like it's a win-win. So I might be willing to do that. But let me throw this out. If he moves on, if they can't work it out and he is going to play for another team, we talked about it with our guests and among ourselves, Ephraim. If I'm the Knicks, I'm not trying to give him a long-term deal. I can only think of one team outside of Brooklyn, Ephraim, where I could stomach giving him the 4-year deal because the other teams can only give 4 years. The Nets could do 5. And Ephraim, that is your team, the LA Lakers.
Don't be pulling that on me, man.
If I'm the Lakers, because I got LeBron, because I know it worked before, it's the only place Kyrie's won big, because he's talked reverentially about LeBron, and he seems to now have a better understanding of how LeBron was when he, since he's left, he's understood now. I would give that a shot. Now, the Lakers have absolutely no cap room. They'd have to do a trade. It probably had to be a 3 or 4 team deal because straight up, the Lakers have nothing to offer. Brooklyn, I can't imagine they want Russell Westbrook. So, but let me ask you this. As a Laker fan, I'm sure you want Kyrie Irving. Would you want him at a full max deal, 4 years, $190 million or whatever it might be?
As a Laker fan, what I don't want is someone I can't trust. That's the God's honest opinion. Like Brooklyn, they wanted. That
sounds like that might be a no.
They wanted Brooklyn. I mean, Brooklyn wanted Kyrie. And they didn't get it. They haven't. What have they benefited? What have they benefited? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's been 3 years. They've benefited absolutely nothing. And so, where is the success story outside of the 1 year with LeBron and winning the championship? Where is the success story? They went to Boston with the same talent that Boston just went to the finals with, and they got rid of him because he was a problem in the locker room. And every team he's played on, it's been a problem. Why would I want to invite another problem to the Lakers?
So you don't want him?
I don't want him.
Because you already got problems.
We got problems. We
Y'all
don't need
got
more
problems galore.
We have big problems.
And get rid of, obviously, in the trade,
one problem for another problem.
Yeah, that's what it is.
At least Russell Westbrook is available. He will play every single game.
That's the problem.
That is a problem. But I will say this: he will ring the bell. I got a guy on the complete opposite. Has all the talent in the world on the court and won't ring the bell.
Well, let me say this. The two healthiest seasons that Kyrie Irving had were with LeBron. First year, played 51 games. Second year, 59 games. This is before LeBron. Third year in the league, played 71. Okay, that's good. But with LeBron, he played 3 years with LeBron. First year played 75 games. Second year 53. That was a legit injury. Remember, he had the knee injury.
Well, he's injury
and
prone.
then he played he is on top of all the other stuff.
Yeah, so when you talk about max deals,
72 games the last year.
Right. So when you talk about max deals, there's a lot of things that go into that. Number one, mentally he's not available, and physically he may not be available. So
you wouldn't even do a Westbrook. I know it's not going to be Westbrook for Kyrie, but if you had a 3 or 4 team deal where you could get rid of Russ and bring back Kyrie Irving to team with LeBron James and Anthony Davis?
I would have to do that because we can't do Russell Westbrook again. We can't do that. Like that, I stopped watching games because I couldn't take it. It means so much to me. And to watch him, I've said this, Russell Westbrook has to, out of all the starting point guards in the NBA, he has to have the lowest basketball IQ out of all the starting point guards.
Right.
You want to talk about someone who can't read the flow of the game?
Right.
Who just I have never seen so many 1-on-3, 1-on-4 fast breaks in my life. Now you got to remember, he doesn't have the lift that he once had. So a lot of those were the ball smacking off the bottom of the rim or the top of the backboard or just completely just kicked out of bounds as he's pushing the pace by himself, right? Do you remember those runs when the Lakers were down big and they're coming back and he just wants to shoot an ill-advised three? He shot 24% from the three-point line. You're open for a reason.
He plays the 47th minute just like it's the 17th minute.
Yes.
He doesn't understand time and score.
And that is a killer at the point guard position.
Right, absolutely. That's why when the trade was made, as baffling as it was, I thought they should have had LeBron at the point.
Yeah, but he doesn't shoot well enough to be at two.
Well, I would have had him moving off the ball, I know, it's a challenge.
He can't play. He doesn't play that way.
Well, but that's the thing. That's why, and again, it might be futile to try to get him to change his game. But the bottom line is this. You agreed. If now the Lakers, I know LeBron would want this to happen.
Of course.
I mean, I haven't talked to him, but he gotta want this.
Call him up, Chris. You tapped in. Call him
with LeBron, AD, and Kyrie.
That's dangerous.
Oh my gosh, is that dangerous?
That's dangerous.
And I do think this too, because look, I said it last hour. We know Kyrie wants to be in Brooklyn, right? I do think, Ephraim, though, I think he would be fine in L.A. I think,
of course,
it's obviously a great city and weather and all that. But I think Brooklyn not really playing right by him. I shouldn't say playing right by him, but in his eyes, not playing right by him, probably might sour him on staying there. And, playing with LeBron again, having a chance to win a championship. You got a lot to prove now. It would be a great situation for the Lakers, but I just don't see a way they get it done. You heard John Hollinger saying,
stranger things have happened. I mean, people have moved
Nobody's
heaven and earth,
untradeable.
Right? So
nobody's absolutely untradeable.
It's definitely happened. My biggest contention is LeBron, the rumblings of LeBron wanting to team up with Steph at the end of his career. Like that's what. What
are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I could see it happening. I could see him laying the track work for it. LeBron, of course. Well, who do you want to play for? I would love to play with Steph, man. I would love to play. And then you got Draymond. Draymond and LeBron have been arch nemesis, right? Right. We had
on the court,
of course,
right.
growing gate, and all kinds of stuff. Now all of a sudden. I think he's the smartest player I ever seen. I love him. He got the tequila, all of that. Come on, man. I see what's happening right now.
I'm going to say this, though, Ephraim. If I'm the Warriors, let's even say this can't happen, but potentially, if they could do that deal this summer. If I'm the Warriors, I'm running it back with what we got.
They luxury
did
tax,
the
though.
super thing. They did the super team thing with Durant, and it was great, but it brings a lot more drama than the way they have it now and had it before KD. And it was LeBron, there's always drama. The style of play would change dramatically. Like, and they would be great just because LeBron's so great and Steph's so great with all those shooters and stuff. But I would try. I'm not in a hurry to do that if I'm Golden State. And Steph, who already has 4 rings, we've talked about legacy, top 10, all that. Having LeBron with him, I don't know, is going, it's not going to increase that legacy. But if he can somehow win another championship or 2 without a LeBron or a Durant or somebody like that, that's how you really make your legacy climb even higher.
Yeah, that may almost put him where you have him ranked in your top 10 players of all time.
Hey, Impact. This dude changed the game.
He changed the game. Yep.
Only unanimous MVP in NBA history. Now, I get it. He shouldn't have been, but he is. Right? We got to go with the official ranking. 4 championships in the LeBron era. In an era that some people, not me, but some people think is the best era of basketball ever.
I understand that. But when you talk about greatest basketball players of all time, what we have tend to overlook in today's NBA is basketball is played on both sides.
You can't play that. He's
court.
A horrible defender.
I'm not saying that.St of all, he's not a good defender.
I actually think he's a good defender.
Okay, so let me show you why that's not true.
You just talked about him locking up Al Horford in the post.
No, that was Al Horford. That wasn't Steph.
Whatever.
No.
Whatever. He locked up Al Horford.
So what you're doing is you're filibustering, trying to make your point valid. But what I'm telling you is the way that Golden State approached Steph Curry in the high pick and roll shows you what Boston they think, right? It shows you what. Guess what? Guess who wasn't switching, right? They didn't allow Steph Curry to be switched onto Brown or Tatum. They showed and got back. No one does that defense.
But
right?
Here's what Steph is.
Wait a minute. Wait 1 second. Wait. Let me get this out, man.
You wrong. I'm gonna beat
first
you up
of all,
on this
I'm not wrong.
Ahead.
I'm not wrong because they Golden State went into the game not wanting to put Steph Curry in a position where he had to guard a dynamic player at the top of the key. That's why they showed and he went back. They didn't just switch off on it. Okay, that's just what it was. I mean, when you want to hide someone defense,
Al Horford? Was that by design?
No, that was not by design.
Oh, okay.
That was not by design. But you will get caught in between and have to pick up someone. And when it did, they never took advantage of it. Anytime, that's like when James Harden guards you, right? If you switch out and give the ball whoever James Harden is guarding. Not anymore because now he's even playing defense.
But here's the thing, Ephraim, and I agree. He's not a great defender. He'll never be all league.
No, he'll try. He just physically he doesn't have what it takes to do that.
Well, first of all, let's keep it real. None of the small point guards today that are offensive players play great defense. Lillard, Kyrie, we could go down the line. Oh, Marcus Smart and Pat Bev, they'll D you up because they don't do nothing offensively. I mean, Smart's
come on now,
okay.
wait, okay.
He's okay
getting carried away.
But, he's not a, But Steph, while not a great individual defender, is a good team defender.
Mm-hmm.
He's smart. He's always in his rotations. He's communicating. He's always in the right place. That's big. If he was a horrible defender, leading or among the leaders in minutes for the Warriors, they couldn't be a top 5 defense every year. They couldn't. If he was a horrible defender out on the court that much. Now, again, I'm not saying he's all league. And I'm not saying early in his career he wasn't just straight up bad. But during this run, they have been a top defensive team.
Yes, they have.
And he is a good team.
Every single person on the court with him plays top
Clay
tier.
Wasn't a great defender this year when he came back.
But he is a top tier. But he's not the same. He's not the same.
Kevon Looney is pretty good.
That's why they very
Draymond and Wiggins are top.
Yes, but that's why they very rarely played together. Right?
Yeah, but they played together
against Boston. Against Boston. That's why they very rarely played together. Because you can't have two gaping holes defensively against a team like Boston. We saw that. We saw that in the games that Boston took over the game. That's why the adjustments are made.
It was all Steph's fault?
No, man. Are you listening?
When Boston, you said we saw that when Boston took over the game.
I said when Boston take over those games, Poole and Steph were playing together on the court. You can't do that.
We got to break.
They made the adjustment.
Get back to it. We'll get back. I told you I'm teaching you how to do this.
Come on, man. Get out of here, man. Sitting up there in your bathroom.
Fox Sports Radio.